Today is the day where I am going to be cleaning up this disaster. Hi everybody, welcome to the Fabulous Empty Nest with me, your host Angie. It is Whip Wednesday or Wellness Wednesday or Clean the Yarn Room Wednesday, which is really what we're going to be doing. I have a disaster in here. I'm going to put a couple of short videos in right here. We have stuff piled up in my chair. We have stuff piled up on my work table. We have stuff piled up under the work table. We have stuff piled up over there. We have all this yarn. Now I got this all sitting on a sheet down there, but we have all this mess that needs to be organized. So first I want to say, if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you found us here at the Fabulous Empty Nest. And if you're returning, I thank you so much because that means you keep coming back and that means the world to me. If you haven't done so already, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that really helps me out a lot. Every like really counts. And when you leave comments, that is like the best thing in the world. I love communicating with my friends out there in YouTube land. So this is what I call base camp. It used to be my guest bedroom, and this is where my granddaughter lived. And when she moved out, I took everything out of here and put it into storage and created my yarn room, or base camp as I call it. The reason I call it base camp is because I'm a huge Mount Everest fan. I love watching people hike Mount Everest. I love the stories about base camp. I'm just like a huge mountain climbing fan. And it just seemed appropriate for my space to be called base camp. So that is what it is. This is my base camp. When I lived in Tennessee and Nashville, my husband and I had a very large creative space that we worked in, and it was just that. It was just made for creating, and it was very big. And so now I'm learning how to get by in this tiny little guest bedroom, but it is working. It is working. The thing that I'm trying to do now is organize and find a home for everything. So I have a great big huge closet behind you, and I'm on the search right now for a beautiful tapestry to cover the big wooden doors that are on the closet. I have two large pegboards that I'm going to be putting up on the wall over here. I started wondering why I even got those, but I'm going to utilize them. I'm just not sure how yet. So over here is where I have 4 rows of cubes. I have more squares that I can put up, so I'm going to do that today also. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'll just be talking to you as I go along and explaining like what I'm going to do, why I'm doing it, and taking inventory of what I have, because a lot of what I have is fall, and so I'm going to try to keep like all my fall on one side, and then I'm going to have some clean open spaces for all my spring and summer cotton and summery colors. So I'm going to organize mine a little differently, not just like in the rainbow of colors, but like fall over here, fall and winter over here, and then spring and summer are going to be over here. So the first thing that I want to do is kind of start organizing by types of yarn. So I've got this big basket right here, and I'm trying to get rid of these. I don't like these in here. So this is full of cotton. So this is like a cotton blend. I think it's cotton and acrylic. This is from Michaels. I really like this yarn. What's it called? Bulky Twist. And it's 50% cotton and 50% acrylic, and I really like this yarn. But one thing I've learned about this yarn, and I think I showed you in one of my sweaters, is when you mix it with an acrylic yarn, so this is half acrylic, half cotton, but when you mix it with an acrylic yarn, and then you go to like, to steam the piece to block it, you get half of it blocked and half of it not. And so the mistake that I made, I actually made the center of my granny square, the sunburst was made out of this. And then I did around the sunburst with acrylic. And so that was a big mistake, because when I blocked it, everything blocked and loosened up except for that middle, that cotton. It was weird, whatever it did. I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but it kind of buckled and it was not good. So I've got the sweater where the big panel in the back is kind of buckled and it looks ugly. I have these peaches and cream stripies. I've never used these, but I'm going to be making some cute stuff out of these for summer. I'm thinking a couple of little halter tops, a couple bucket hats, maybe some more. I have, I think, 2 of each. I think maybe some more of the market bags for this summer. I'm really trying to kind of hone in on like what my vision is. Who am I as a creator for not only my channel, but for like what I'm making. I just don't want to be out just making a bunch of random stuff for no reason. I really thought about that a lot after I did my video yesterday, how I have a tendency to like make a bunch of stuff and then just like stash it away. That's no good. Like, I want to do things more purposefully and have a purpose and not like waste a bunch of resources on things that, you know, don't have a purpose, I guess you'd say. So it's very windy here today. You might hear my wind chimes going off in the background. I have a lot of this bulky twist from Michaels. And then I have quite a bit of the I Love This Yarn cotton, which I think is just so beautiful. I love the way that stuff makes up. I think it's just really classy looking. Okay, so this is my cotton basket, and I really don't want to add this to my cubes. That's going to be all acrylic and wool blends and so forth. I also have several skeins of like mohair and some kind of silk and linen yarns, and so I'm going to put those all into individual baskets as well. This is just going to be the stuff that I use on a regular basis, which is the acrylic, wool, and wool blends for my big cubes over there. I have, and then I've got these little specialty yarns like this right here. This is called Fiesta, and I've got a bunch of these pretty little yarns, and I want to put those somewhere special also to just so they're visible, because oftentimes what happens is I have all these pretty yarns and then I forget I have them because I can't see them, and it's kind of that out of sight, out of mind. And I have this pretty basket of yarn as well, and so trying to kind of keep everything together. It needs to be together. I can't wait to use this. This is my hand spun cashmere that I got for $1.50. Cannot wait to use it. So this is like my fancy, this is all my super fancy yarns that I'm going to be knitting with. Oh, I should probably tell you while I'm doing this a little bit about my knitting experience. Hello, says Mr. Turtle. So I went to my first knitting class the other day, and it was amazing. I learned how to knit in the round, which was so cool and a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. That is for sure. And I probably got about 6 inches done, which I was impressed. And I was really feeling super good about it because I hadn't dropped any stitches or anything. And I was literally thinking to myself, wow, I haven't dropped any stitches yet. And then I look back in the row before I dropped a stitch. So I just pulled it out, and I have a tendency to be just okay with pulling things out like that and being like, you know what, if I crocheted it once, I can crochet, or if I knitted it once, I can knit it again. And so I just pulled it out, and I'm starting again. The problem is I also learned a new cast on. I usually do the long tail cast on, and she taught me how to do, it's like a knit cast on, where you're basically just knitting it on. And so I have that down, but I wasn't able to remember what the trick was to knitting in the round. So I'm feeling really good about doing this. I don't know that I'm going to get it all done today, but I really need to, because I'm going back to work on Thursday in the office, and I need to have all this, like I need to have this out of my hair. I need to not be thinking about it, and yeah, just have it done. But the husband is feeling good. We took his bandages off today, and it looks really good. Like he's so healthy. He's so healthy, physically healthy, emotionally and mentally healthy. And I think that really helped him in this recovery process, because I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought it could be terrible. I thought it could be really terrible, because neither of us have ever been like really sick since we've been together for the last 15 years. I love this yarn. I think this is so pretty. And you know what? There is a yarn that I tried working with multiple times this morning. Like I bought it because I love it so much and I really want to work with it. But I tried probably 4 different projects, and I just can't find anything that I want to do with it. And it's this yarn right here. I think it's called Cobblestone. Yeah, Cobblestone. And it's really beautiful. It's by Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. I'm going to put it aside and wait until the appropriate project comes up. This is the sock that I'm making out of this yarn for my husband. So it's actually a whip. Okay, so I finished up the organization of Base Camp, my yarn room, and I feel like it looks really good. I still have a few things that need to be gone through. Basically, all the yarn that wouldn't fit into my cubes is packed up in front of the cube. You can see in the video that like there's still a lot of yarn that needs to be gone through. But at least now I know what I'm working with, and I'm going to head down to maybe Walmart and get a couple more tubs that I can label. And that way I'll know that that is all scrap yarn. And basically what that tells me is that I have a couple of really good scrap projects that I can be doing in the next couple of months. So that's kind of exciting. I've definitely been wanting to do more blankets. So it looks like I have plenty of yarn for that. So I'm excited about that. I'd also like to do maybe some prayer shawls. And the way that I do those is I mix different types of yarn, all in the same color, but different hues and things like that, and use different stitches. So I think that would be really nice too. So I appreciate you coming along with me as I get this place cleaned up and ready to actually be used. My table is clean now. My computer desk is basically ready to be used. I'm going to be moving my Addie over to a freestanding small table, and I think I'm good to go. I feel like I can actually work in here now. So I will see you all on Friday. Remember, I'm doing a live on Friday night at 5 o'clock, and that will be Pacific time. So again, thank you, my friends. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.